panel of leaders is led by Jacklyn Payne. Jacklyn is our Region 6 advisor. She's from District 86, which is in Toronto. She's an active Toastmaster, has been serving in the organization for more than 16 years. And she doesn't plan on slowing down. I know her a little bit. I've never seen her slow down from anything. She's an architectural technologist and project management specialist. Is that a long way of saying she's maybe an IT? Member of Brampton Toastmasters and the Burlington Advanced Toastmasters. She has served as club officers, area director, division director, district roles, and everything in between. Here's some important things that are hard to get, regardless of what role you hope to play. She was awarded the Area Governor of the Year at the time, the same thing as Area Director now. Governor of the Year in 2012, Division Director of the Year in 2014, and the Excellence in Program Quality for her work in the district as the PQD in 2019. I can only aspire to be as well decorated as she is. She likes to be regional advisor and is working diligently to help us succeed this year and beyond. And that means us, District 11, because we're in her region. She's a firm believer that in order to succeed, you must have a plan and set achievable goals, remain focused, and help others to grow. She quotes for this, Maya Angelou, "When you learn, teach, and when you get, give." And what better place to do that than in Toastmasters? Please help me welcome our Region 6 South Advisor, Distinguished Toastmaster, Jacklyn Payne.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you so much for the introduction. Good evening, District 11. How's everybody doing this evening? Excellent. Thanks for attending, and I'm very honored to be a part of your TLI and is really looking forward to your participation. Tonight, we will be talking about stepping up to serve in the district. Some of you may be familiar with the roles, while some of you may not be aware of what the roles entail. Tonight, you will learn about the leadership roles and why you should step up to serve. Who have plans to take on a leadership role next term? Can you show us a thumbs up? Great. Now I want you to write in the chat that you would like to serve so we can reach out to you later. Succession planning is very important for the viability of any organization. Hence, it is important that we start preparing members early for leadership roles. Every year, the district put out a search for members who want to step up in leadership. Sometimes they're easy to find, and other times it is a challenge. We have to start prepping early for all the leadership roles. It is a process and everything takes time. Therefore, it is important to know where you want to serve in the district. Whenever one of the district leaders asks you to serve on their committee, for example, as education chair, extension chair, or retention chair, please say yes. You are asked because they see you as the right person for the role. They see you as someone who is ready for further growth and development. This opportunity is to prepare you for the leadership role. And you're also getting to learn about club quality, membership building, as well as membership and club retention, just to name a few. And remember, you don't always have to wait on someone to ask you. You can also volunteer to be on a committee. Sometimes members do not want to take on a committee role because it does not have a credit towards the Distinguished Toastmaster. But think of it this way. You may be serving in a role that does not offer you credit this year, but it is preparing you for the leading role, where you will gain valuable experience so you can perform better in the credit role when it comes up. Think about it. I served as alignment chair and extension chair, and there was no credit. But that did not stop me, because I had a plan and knew where I wanted to serve next. All the experience I gained helped me tremendously when I became club growth director, because I came with club leads, club launch, and club building experience. So look at the big picture. Where do you want to serve next, and start preparing yourself to get there one step at a time. Think of the growth you will gain, the lives you will change, and those who will change yours, as well as the asset you will become to your district, as well as yourself. Tonight, we have a panel of the District Executive Committee leaders who will be explaining their roles to you. I will give you a quick synopsis of the offices of the district, which ones are elected and which ones are appointed. Then I will give the qualifying requirement of the role before the leaders speak about their role. Are you ready to be informed? Great. I will start with the offices of the district. As per Toastmasters International Administrative Bylaws, the offices of the district are as follows: District Director, Program Quality Director, Club Growth Director, District Public Relations Manager, District Administration Manager, District Finance Manager, Division Directors, and Area Directors. Tonight, we have representation from all executive roles on the panel. I will let you know what roles are elected and what roles are appointed. This is information before they get started. Once again, as per Toastmasters Administrative Bylaws, the elective officers of this district shall be the District Director, the Program Quality Director, the Club Growth Director, and Division Directors. Those are the elected officers. The other officers of the district shall be the District Public Relations Manager, the District Administrative Manager, the District Finance Manager, the Area Director for each area. And these officers may be elected or appointed, but I know most districts appoint them. What you need to know to qualify for these roles. At the time of taking office, an elective officer must have been an active member of a Toastmaster club in good standing for the entire preceding 12 months, or has been a member for 12 consecutive months within that past 3 years in the district in which the officer shall serve. Now I am going to move to the panel. I will start with the District Director qualification. The District Director shall have served at least 6 consecutive months as a club president and at least 12 consecutive months as a Program Quality Director, Club Growth Director, Division Director, or a combination of the preceding. Now, to explain the District Director role and why it is important for you to serve, as well as the benefits to you and the district, please help me welcome District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Mark Mandel.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you to our wonderful panel, friends and fellow Toastmasters. Did you know that the district actually has its own mission? We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving success and excellence. That's the charge given to the district director at the beginning of their year. Now, I don't know about you, but this role is obviously fairly important. There are 7 books, 14 different pages that you can go look at, and not one, but 200 resources listed on the Toastmasters International website that summarizes the importance and the role of the district director. One of those pages, believe it or not, even said, and I quote, "The district director is the conductor of the orchestra of the district." Now, I'm not quite sure what tune they're playing, but I have to tell you that having read everything in the District Leadership Handbook, I've summarized it as only I can do to help you understand the role. So settle down. Here's the skinny on being a district director. The most important skill is communication and guidance. As district director, you will have to help support all of the other roles and clubs and individual members that come to you to talk about district or Toastmasters stuff. You're almost the liaison between Toastmasters International and the members and the clubs. And that's why having guidance and patience is such an important thing. When I thought about all the different things that I've been asked to do just in this short tenure between July and now, it amazes me how many different topics have come over by email, phone, or text. So that's, I think, the most important thing is patience and understanding. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not an expert when it comes to Toastmasters, but I definitely think that that's important. You also need to have fiscal responsibility. In effect, the district director is the CEO of District 11, reporting downwards to the members, who are really my customer, and then reporting up to Toastmasters International. This must be an important role because there's not one training weekend, but 2 whole training weekends where you learn to work within teams and understand how you as a district director can support everybody else. You need to be a master politician. You need to understand the dynamics of the district and the direction of Toastmasters in order to be able to work together. We chair many committees. We have to support the administration of making sure that things get done. There is a whole calendar of items that the district director has responsibility for. And honestly, I couldn't do it without the team. Everybody together working to support our mission and support you, the member, you, the leader, and everybody else. It's funny because when I think about it, there is so much that I have to learn and so little time to learn it. So as Jackie said, having that PQD experience, having an area director experience and wanting to make a difference is the key thing for a district director. Let me leave you with one quote. Zig Ziglar said, "The first responsibility of a leader is to define reality. The last responsibility for a leader is to say thank you. And everything else in the middle is about you, the leader, being a servant of your customer." So thank you, and I'll pass you back to Jackie.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for so ably explaining your role. Next up, we've got the Program Quality Director. And the Program Quality Director shall have served at least 6 consecutive months as club president and at least 12 consecutive months as a Program Quality Director, a club growth director, a division director, an area director, or a combination of the preceding. To explain the program quality role and why it is important for you to serve, as well as the benefits to you and the district, I am pleased to introduce Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Rick Holtmeier.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for being here. The Program Quality Director, in my opinion, is to take that CEO role from Mark and make sure that the blood is pumping through the veins in the heart of the district in the best way possible and getting it distributed in the best ways. What that really means is there are many things that take place insofar as programs in the district. I have to help others help themselves to perform those tasks. The tasks fall into several categories. Most of you are aware of them. You're in the midst of one task right now, putting on club officer training. You're all here. But more than just a responsibility for club officer training is area director training, division director training, judges training. I couldn't possibly even do that piece of training all by myself. We have Joe Phillips running up the judges training. We've had several division directors and even area directors stand up to help with training and some of the other components. My main job is to build those teams of people that will assist the district in being able to accomplish what it needs to in these areas. I've mentioned training, also contests. We have this year 2 contests, international speech contest and a humorous speech contest. We have to start that at the clubs, through the areas, and we're doing it all hybrid this year. So through the areas, through the divisions, right into the international speech contest and the humor speech contest that takes place at the spring conference. Spring conference is another thing that we do that I have to build, or we have to build a team to be able to perform the spring conference. Spring conference this year will be hybrid. It'll be in Indianapolis. It'll be on the May 19th and May 20th. Some other things we want to accomplish or need to accomplish, in my opinion, is we need to restore recognition in as many ways as we can within the entire district. Some things perhaps some you've never heard of before. You know, there's such a thing as a Toastmaster of the Year, an area director of the year, a division director in the year. I haven't heard any of these for years in this district. We're going to be putting those in place this year, in addition to individual recognition from someone of the top 3 at a club visit of anyone who accomplishes the DTM during the year. There will be division level recognition for those completing level 5s. So we're involving the entire network of division directors, area directors, and the top 3 in the district to do much more recognition. And that way to help people to lead and giving them recognition even for the leadership roles that they take. So you can help me. I've been posting out from time to time people to run various components of this for me. The experiment we're in the midst of right now is building training sessions that are based on what people want to talk to us about. This is one training session that's just like that. We can see that we'll be able to develop more during the year. This is early, it's only November. We'll probably have several different types of training sessions for the rest. I know we're having 3 already scheduled in January. If you're asked for something and you think you can do it and you want to do it, believe me, say yes. You can't really test yourself or have fun with it until you say yes first. Jacklyn.
Thank you so much, Rick. Thank you. The club growth and the program quality director, their qualifications are the same. And The club growth director shall have served at least 6 consecutive months as club president and at least 12 consecutive months as a program quality director, a club growth director, a division director, an area director, or a combination of the preceding. To explain the role of the club growth director and why it is important for you to serve in this role, as well as how it can benefit you and the district, please help me welcome our club growth director, distinguished Toastmaster Crouse.
There we go. Fellow Toastmasters, what is the best part of your club meeting? Why do you love your club? What can make your club meeting even better? What encouraged you to join your club? Maybe you'd like to see more people join your club. What do you think would work? Those are some of the questions that I ask when people contact me. Have you contacted me? If not, I invite you to. This role is important to our district so we keep our current clubs healthy and so that we provide a place for those who know they need to improve their skills but simply haven't found our organization yet. I'm responsible for all aspects of marketing, club building, and member and club retention efforts within the district. Whew, that's a mouthful. I'm benefiting from this role because my leadership skills are being stretched during a particularly difficult time in my life. On July 1st, I made a big change in my life. I moved. I moved in with my love machine. How about that? And on July 15th, he fell flat on his face and broke his neck and 2 ribs. I've been to the doctor more times with him in the past couple months than I've been in my entire life. Now, I could have resigned, except that I've had undying support from our Region 6 advisor, our district director, and our club quality director. I've had undying support from other Toastmasters too. I couldn't have been successful in my first couple weeks without Laura Anderson and Donna Caseborn, 2 members who stepped up to prop me up in a time of need. We're Toastmasters, that's what happens. Now, helping others through things, go through things together and sharing your ideas with others to help them build a club is what this position is about. When someone from a club reaches out to me to help them add zip to their meetings, add members, or maybe they just need ideas on how to start a club, I'm excited to work together to move forward. Yesterday, I received a request from the HR department of the Indiana Pacers to start a club. Want to help me?
Yes.
I need the help.
We're here.
Clubs swell with membership, then they dwindle to the point where they think they're going to close. Meetings are exciting, and then they lose their pow. Now, who can they turn to? What do you think we should do to help clubs that are low in membership? How can you help clubs add interest to their meeting? What kind of reward would clubs need to get all officers trained? How can we learn to find the member who would experience personal growth by taking a club office for a year? How can you encourage members to follow their path to complete level 5? What ideas do you have to help others perform at their best and to grow their competency? That's what this position is about. Competency leads to trying more, learning more, progressing more, and finally, they become more confident in being a leader, compassion, understanding, and praise. We need all of those. Now, why did I become the club growth director? It's because I saw so many clubs with low membership, and actually some were suspended. And I believe it's easier to help an ailing club than it is to start a new club. Do you remember how hard it was to start your club? With an ailing club, you might only have to find a few new members, but with a new club, you need to find how many? 20. Contact me if your club needs help, or more importantly, if you'll help another club. I need your help. I need to build teams. You need leadership skills, and I can help you with that. If you're an idea person, or if you like to help others, this position is the next step in your leadership. If you're a division director right now, I highly recommend that you consider this position for the 2023-24 fiscal year. This role is challenging, but oh, the places you will go, the people you will help, and the intrinsic rewards you will reap. Madam Region Director.
Thank you so much, Carol. Thanks for laying it all out. Thank you. Next up, I'll be talking about the qualifications for all district officers. And all district officers must be active individual members of member clubs in good standing within the district where they are elected or appointed to serve, and must be in good standing with Toastmasters International under Article 3, Section 8 of the bylaws of Toastmasters International. Now we are going to be moving to the District Public Relations Manager. The District Public Relations Manager serves under the direction of the District Director. Further qualifications for these roles are determined by the District Director. To explain the role of the Public Relations Manager and why it's important for you to serve, please help me welcome District Public Relations Manager, Distinguished Toastmaster, David Klopfenstein.
Thank you, Jacklyn. Public Relations Manager seems like a long title. But interesting enough, there's a lot of things that go underneath that title that you may not realize. I just want to highlight a few of those things. Responsibilities. You're to publicize events of our district, our clubs, and most importantly, our members. I also make sure that the district website is kept current with news, events, and resources. Safeguarding the Toastmasters brand. Developing a communications plan to keep members informed of all activities within the district, the clubs, the officers, the division, the area directors. Training, informing local communities about club and district events. And of course, supporting the district mission to build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. This is a very important role, but it's also very fun and rewarding. I took upon myself to do this position because I wanted to learn. That's why I'm in Toastmasters. I want to continue to grow. I want to learn. Over the years, I have found that I have had many mentors. Those mentors have taught me many things, but now it's my turn to give back, to help others. So that's what I like to do. I always think of Toastmasters as being a family. We're here to help each other, to support each other, no matter what. One of the important things of this role is to keep good communication going amongst the public, fellow Toastmasters, and other districts. The benefits to the district are to connect with clubs and members, to bring them together to help each other, build membership, generate media coverage, enhance local public presentation. And the benefit to myself, I learned new communication skills. I learned about how to use public resources. I'm still learning, and I continue to learn. The main thing I want to let you know is you're out there, you're learning, you're growing, but you can do so much more. Yes, we're here to ask you for your help, but more than that, it's what you can do for yourself. You just want to be stagnant? Mark visited so many different clubs and found that they are set in their ways. They do something not quite the same thing all the time, or they do it the same way all the time. But some places they're adventuresome. They want to try new things. Thus, why we stay in Toastmasters. So we put it out there to you. Do you want to continue to grow? Do you want to learn new things? Here's your opportunity. Take on responsibility. And again, like has been mentioned, you may not get credit for it right away, but you're learning, you're growing, and you're mentoring. You're being mentored. Yes, we need help, but the most important thing is we want to help you. I've been looking through a lot of club websites, and I noticed a majority of the club websites are not really active. They're not doing a lot. Is it any wonder why we're not gaining new members? We need to become more active. Pay attention to the small details because it will lead to the bigger things. We want you to grow. We want you to have fun. Why not help us to help you? That's my spiel. Back to you, Jacklyn.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you for bringing awareness to your role. Really appreciate that. And to the audience, if you have questions for any of the district leaders, you can start putting them into the chat. I will now move on to the next role, the District Administration Manager. The District Administration Manager serves under the direction of the District Director. To explain the role of the Administration Manager and why it is important for you to serve, please help me welcome Administration Manager Mindy Mandel, PM1.
Michael Crichton said, if you don't know history, then you don't know anything. You're a leaf that doesn't know it's a part of a tree. I thought this quote was interesting because without record keeping, you have no written history. Without a written history, it's easy to forget where you've been. And if you've forgotten where you've been, it's much harder to know where you're headed. Fellow officers, district operations can be pretty complex. There are many moving parts, and as the world shuffled to realign when the pandemic hit, Toastmasters also had to rethink processes that were traditionally done in person and somehow make sure they work in a virtual world. Introducing the District Administration Manager. Executive committee meetings and district council meetings have moved from in-person duties to more virtual duties. The need for notepad and pencil has been replaced with computer and Zoom skills. Putting announcements in the mail is turned into email chains. It's now possible to make decisions and have a meeting entirely through texts, where before it took hoping schedules aligned and that enough people showed up to a meeting to accomplish the desired goals. Whether appointed or elected, the district admin manager plays a simple yet important role in the operations of the district. Rosters need updating and distributing. Supplies need ordering and current inventory logged. District historical records need maintaining. And you quickly learn to understand basic parliamentary procedures. In short, it's the district admin's business to keep up with the business of the district. Before you know it, your organizational skills have grown. You learn the importance of keeping up-to-date records and the best means to carry that out. Critical thinking skills improve and problem solving becomes second nature. Are you considering a district role? If so, why should you want to become the next district admin manager? Aside from the personal growth you'll experience, you will have a front row seat to the inner workings of a Toastmaster district. You get a glimpse of what some of the other officer roles entail. You also have the added benefit of getting to know and work with a great group of people who may have otherwise never crossed your path. Of course, you have a choice. You can sit on the sidelines or you can get involved. I would encourage you to think about a district role and getting involved. Don't be the leaf that doesn't know it's a part of a tree. Thank you, Jacklyn.
Thank you so much, Mindy. Thanks in a million. Really appreciate that. Next up, we have got the district finance manager. The district finance manager serves under the direction of the district director. To explain the finance manager role and why it is important for you to serve, please help me welcome District Finance Manager, Distinguished Toastmaster, Lou Begnel. Lou?
Thank you, Jackie, and to fellow Toastmasters of the district. The district finance manager is a role that, similar to the administrative manager, is one that's complementary to the district leadership, and it's a support role. But the key to the role is to ensure that the district is spending wisely. The district has a budget every Toastmasters year. That budget is comprised of revenues coming from the membership dues that are paid. So of the Toastmasters membership dues, going to Toastmasters International is $45 every 6 months. And about 25% of that comes back to the respective district where that member is of a club within that district. And then that is the operating budget for the year, is for both of those dues periods, what the district has to spend. My role is to make sure that the district is spending within its means, as well as adhering to the budget as not only proposed, but also approved by the district council, and doing some course correction if we are too far ahead or behind where the budget is forecasting. But we should be spending funds to improve both the membership of the district as well as the educational learning for the district. Those are two primary components, is ensuring that the district has the resources available. So that could be making sure that our leaders are able to get the training that they need in order to serve in their roles, as well as providing for any events that we have, this being one of them. But as Rick mentioned, we do hope to have a hybrid event coming up in 2023 for the district, where there will be costs associated with that. The finance manager also is knowledgeable in the use for the district for reimbursement requests for our district leaders. We use Concur as the system to reimburse. So if you're in a corporate Toastmasters club, perhaps you've already used Concur to submit expenses with your work. We do the same for Toastmasters as well. And I have been working with those, usually the trio positions, as they go to a few more events. They'll go to Toastmasters International provided training and have both transportation as well as lodging and any associated costs, meals, etc., for attending both the annual and mid-year training for their roles. So that's what the finance manager does for the district. If anybody would like to serve in that capacity next year or any of the future years, I'd be happy to help and train that individual. And let me know if you have any questions on that or any of the other district roles. I've served in a few over the years. Back to you, Jackie.
Thank you so much, Lou. Thanks in a million. The division directors shall have served at least 6 consecutive months as members of a district council. That is, as area director, club president, Vice President of Education. So next up, to explain the division director role and why it is important for you to serve, as well as benefits to you and the district, I am pleased to introduce Division Director Christina Owens, IP5. Christina?
Thank you very much, Jacklyn. Welcome, fellow Toastmasters. My name is Christina Owens. I am the Division E Director this year. I have been a member of Toastmasters for 5 years. I'm currently a member of 2 clubs. I've been club president, club vice president of public relations. I've been vice president of education. I have served last year as an area director. And then late in the year, last year, I was approached to be division director for Division E. And my first thought was, I am not qualified to do that job. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced the same thing when you've been asked to do a role. But I said yes, because I felt like, as some others have mentioned, that maybe this person saw something in me that I did not see in myself. So I said yes to do the division director role this year. What did I know about being a division director? Absolutely nothing. Did they do more than just host the division speech contest? I don't know. So this year has been a great learning experience to learn how this role impacts the district. I feel like this role as division director, you are guiding and motivating others, especially those area directors that are in your division. You're relaying that information from the district trio, and the other district positions down to your area directors so that they can then relay the information to the clubs. You're also a part of a bigger picture. You're looking at metrics that you may have never even thought about before as being when you're a part of a club president or something like that. So you're concerned about club performance and how many members are in a club, and reaching out and trying to get club coaches for things for different clubs. So there are lots of ways that you're working with other members of the district council to perform your duties. One thing that was a great learning experience for me this year was hosting during our first club officer training session at the beginning of the year, was hosting a training session for my division. And that was eye-opening. It was a great opportunity to find people and to bring people together to perform those duties. And it was actually a really wonderful experience at the end. So if you're like me, I feel like Toastmasters has given me so much. I am a much different person now than I was 5 years ago. And if you feel like Toastmasters has done the same for you, then give back. Take that opportunity when someone asks and say yes. You may not feel qualified. You may not feel like you are able to do the job or the best person for the job, but I encourage you to say yes. Push yourself outside of that comfortable little box we all like to live on and get out there and change Toastmasters for other people. It's a great way, especially if you don't have a leadership role at work, but you want to work on those skills. Toastmasters is a great place to do that, not just at the club level, not just being the Toastmaster of a meeting, but reach out and become a district officer. I highly recommend it. It will push you in ways that you never thought were possible. Back to you, Jacklyn.
Thank you so much, Madam Division Director Christina. Thank you. Next up, we have the area director. And the area directors shall have served as members of a district council, which is served as club president or vice president of education. To explain the area director role and why it is important for you to serve, please help me welcome James Ryan, PM5.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jacklyn. I hope everybody can hear me. I'm having a little bit of issues with my Bluetooth. So I am currently serving as the area director for 2 areas, one in Division C and one in Division H. So I can only be official in one of those areas. So I'm officially the area director for Area 34 in my home, which includes my home clubs. And my distinguished division director, Patty, is helping me with my reports and things for the area 86 in Division H. So what does an area director do? I love being an area director. This is my second time around as being an area director, because to me, area director is, it's just like the next level up from the club. So I'm the closest to the club. And the responsibilities are pretty straightforward. You visit the club, you learn about the club. I like to try to visit the officers' meetings. I don't have a lot of success with that sometimes. And then you submit a report on it online, kind of what you learn. And then you hear back from your program quality director about, some next steps and things that can happen with the clubs. So the whole goal is to support club, theoretically supporting them to become distinguished. And this is a struggle for me personally, because half the time I don't care about distinguished. What I care about is thriving clubs. Good members, enough members to make it a thriving, vibrant club. But to do that, you got to have enough. You got to probably have 20 members. You got to have all those things that make it distinguished. You got to have people moving towards their educational goals. So it took me a while to get my head wrapped around it, but I finally did. If I help them get distinguished, they're going to be a great club. So that's the main thing in my mind that an area director does. Help those clubs become distinguished, whether that means increasing membership and moving on to their educational goals. Those are the main things. So it's so important. The benefits to me and my home club are that I learned all these best practices. I've only visited about 6 or 7 clubs, so not 100 like Mark did, but I've learned some best practices on hybrids, clubs, and ways to go about that. And I can bring that back to my home club, and I can share that with the other clubs. The benefits to the district, I don't know. You'll have to ask the district leaders about that. That's above my pay grade. So the benefits to me, though, is I get to go around and see and learn what these other clubs are doing, how to have a really great open house, like one of my clubs recently did, how to, really focus on reinvigorating longtime members who have been members for 20-some years and maybe need a little bit of a shot in the arm. I've been a member coming up on 10 years now, and I'm really interested in the idea of why does Toastmasters become sticky for some people? We've got somebody online here who is now part of a family of 3 generations of Toastmasters. His father was a Toastmaster, he's a Toastmaster, and now his daughter is a Toastmaster and president of the club. That's what I call sticky. They stuck to it. They've somehow created this culture. And I think we've done a good job of that in my home club, creating a culture that helps the members become sticky and want to stay in Toastmasters. And I really want to learn how other clubs do that and how to take that to other clubs, because then for sure you're going to be distinguished. That's all I got. Back to you, Jacklyn.
Thank you very much, James. Thanks again for your presentation. Once again, I will repeat. All district officers must be active individuals of member clubs in good standing within the district where they are elected or appointed to serve, and must be in good standing with Toastmasters International under Article 3, Section 8 of the bylaws of Toastmasters International. At this point in time, I would like to say a big thank you to the district leaders for your very informative and call to action presentation this evening. Now, following the presentation, we will be moving into a Q&A. And after the Q&A, I will give the closing remarks from the panel discussion. Fellow Toastmasters, we are now open for questions. I am going to get started with a few questions that was forwarded to us earlier on. And these questions are geared to each and every one of the panelists. The first question that I've got this evening goes to our district director, Mark Mandel. And Mark, your question is, what is our biggest challenge in Toastmaster what is our district's biggest challenge this Toastmaster year?
Thank
That
you,
is
Jackie.
11, sorry.
Thank
Right.
you, Jackie. I think personally, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to open our doors and get back to doing what we do best. And that is speaking. When we, in my personal club, moved from online to hybrid to in-person, the energy changed. I really think, my friends, we have to get back to doing what we do best, and that's working in person, attending events, networking, and not talking to a 1x2 box, but getting out there and talking to people. That's the biggest challenge, not only in our district, but in Toastmasters International worldwide. We have to get back to being with other people so that we can truly excel in what we do. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, Mark. Back to basic. Thank you. The next question is for the Program Quality Director. What is the activity that you like the most? Please welcome our Program Quality Director, Rick Holtmeier.
This is a very easy answer.
Hmm.
There's nothing I like better doing in Toastmasters than to take my hand, shaking it with another Toastmaster, look them in the eye, and say, thank you for a job well done.
Mhm.
That's why I'm so hot on the recognition I talked about before. And I've gotten to experience it this year by going out to club meetings and personally thanking people for completing their DTMs last year. I hope to have the opportunity to come to your clubs under the same circumstances. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Next up, we've got the Club Growth Director, Carol. Carol, your question is, I heard that you have recently chartered a new club. Please tell us about it.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, I'm working with 4 or 5 clubs now to get them chartered, and it is very exciting. It feels good to save a club, to help a club that's struggling and help them get on track. But to actually birth a club is just such a tremendous feeling. In fact, I saw that my team leader, Donna Caseborn, is on here. Donna, why don't you tell us a little bit about this club? Can you put Donna on? No. Okay. So it's from the Polaris company, and they're in Indianapolis. And they got so excited. I said, well, we only need 20 people.
Mhm.
And then that 21st or 22nd person is going to be your first couple people, because I thought, oh, well, that'll be nice because it'll make them feel like they're going toward the points on the DCP. They'd have none of it. They just had 21 people all just jump in. They got so excited. And I couldn't talk them out of that 21st person. They wanted everybody to be a charter member. So there's a lot of excitement there. They're going to be a corporate club, and they're going to meet at noon. That's really a challenge. If you're part of a corporate club and you only have an hour, you've got to do a lot of planning in order to get those 5 points, because getting those people through levels is a real challenge for you. And that's one of the things that I went over with this club, is that they've got to put priority on getting 2 or 3 speakers in that hour, and evaluators. They've got to, get right to it and get those speakers and evaluators in their meeting and cut out some of the things that other people have said, oh, I saw this at a Toastmasters meeting, but they don't have the time for that. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Thank you very much, Carol. Thanks for sharing with us. Our next question goes to the Administration Manager, Mindy Mandel. And Mindy, your question is, Which meeting do you need to attend as administration manager?
To be honest, I try to attend all of them that I'm invited to. The district meeting, I don't like the district trio meetings, obviously not, but any time the district has a meeting, I should really be there to take notes. Sometimes if the meeting is recorded, it's just a matter of going back through the recordings and making notes and preparing records that way. But pretty much all the meetings that the district has, especially officers meetings, then I should be there.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mindy. Thanks for sharing. Next up, we've got the finance manager, Lou Begnel. Lou, your question is, do you need to have an accounting background to be the finance manager?
You do not. The finance manager role is one that you'll get trained on how to do. I do have an MBA, and that's been helpful. I've also served as a district director in the past, and so I've been part of the budget preparation process. This isn't my first rodeo as a finance manager, as a district treasurer about 12 years ago. I will say 2 is a small number of rodeos to be considered an expert within the district, but that's just how it happens to be for this year. And, you know, I think one thing that is important to know is that every district leader that we have is a volunteer. So we don't have any paid positions within the Toastmasters district or even in some of the international leadership positions. We do reimburse for expenses that are approved, but everyone is a volunteer here. So for those who are taking on leadership roles, they're also going to be learning as well. And so I would advise any club is having, whether it's your area director or division director come visit, realize that that person may not have the same background or leadership experience that you might have. You may be an executive within your company. That person is learning, and that person is volunteering their time and effort freely. So it is important that we acknowledge that there will be some learnings, there will be some mistakes made, and not everybody is pre-trained or qualified for the role, but part of Toastmasters is learning by doing, and we do need to allow for those that have taken on leaderships to be able to learn and grow and build that confidence. So a long-winded answer, but I just had a few things I wanted to get out there.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for answering that question for us.
Yeah.
Our next question goes to our public relations manager, David Klopfenstein. David, your question is, what are our social media priorities?
Thank you, Jacklyn, for that excellent question. There are several, actually. One is to promote our clubs and our members, and doing that through the different social media. Now, I'm an old school type person in the ways that I'm not actively involved in all the different social media things that are out there, but our district has been really involved in many. Matter of fact, we have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Meetup, and YouTube that we can utilize. We are also wanting to get our vice presidents of public relations of the individual clubs involved, because that's really the next stepping stone for them. They're promoting their club. Now let's promote a little bit further. So that's a great opportunity for them to come about. And like I mentioned earlier, the club's websites, another avenue to put it out there to get more people involved in Toastmasters. So all these things are priorities. Can I do it by myself? No, I can't. It's a team effort. And with the combination of people that's helping with volunteering and other things, there's a lot of experience out there, way more than I have, but I'm learning as I go along, and I learn from others as they come along too. But thanks for the question.
Thank you so much, David, and fellow Toastmasters. If you have any of those skills, please talk to David. He can use your help. Thank you very much, David. Our next question goes to our division director, Christina Owens. And Christina, your question is, how often do you have division council meetings? And are you having any division council meetings soon?
Thank you, Jacklyn, for the question. I believe a division council meeting, for those of you who are not aware, would involve the division director along with the area directors of that division. In my division E, we have 4 areas, so there would be 4 area directors. And basically that's getting together, making sure that everyone's aware of what's going on. You can communicate so much through email, through text message, but sometimes just getting on a Zoom call, if you will, is sometimes the best way to communicate some of those things that need to be known. And it's a great format for everyone to ask questions and to disseminate some of the information from the district. So I think I had a division council meeting at the beginning of the year before I even knew that's what it was called, just getting everyone together as an example of what I had seen in the previous year with the previous division director. And then I would like to have one before the end of the year just to see how everything is went, and then have one maybe probably schedule one out in around contest time just to make sure everyone is comfortable with what they need to do, especially given the hybrid situation, make sure everyone's on board with what needs they have and has all of their roles filled for those speech contests that are coming up in the spring. So that's the plan for those division council meetings. Thank you, Jacklyn.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Our next question goes to Area Director James Ryan. And James, your question is, do most clubs have club success plans?
Probably not. Do I have more time?
Sure.
Do I need more time?
Yes.
My area doesn't have a area success plan, so I can't really deem my clubs. I'm a bad area director when it comes to that kind of a thing. The Distinguished Club Program is the club success plan. I don't know, and my division directors can get with me afterwards and slap my hand because I don't have an area success plan. I know I'm here to support the clubs in whatever they might need. And I know what their metrics are on the Distinguished Club Program page. So that's what I'm focused on.
Okay.
It's like I said, it's probably a bad answer. So the district can jump all over me and that's fine and correct all the other, so when you become an area director, don't do what I do in that regards. They'll train you better.
Okay.
Yeah, I see Mark shaking his head. Yeah.
Okay. Well, James, we thank you for your honesty. We know that the area director is our direct contact with the clubs. So hence the reason you work along with them, because they're going to be calling you up and saying, hey, James, when are we going to have our next area council meeting? So these are things that you guys can work on.
Right, yeah? Right.
They
don't know. They don't know what an area council is.
Yeah. So now you're going to take it back to them and say, well, hey, we're going to have an area council meeting coming up next week. So they can share with you what's going on. Thank you so much for coming out and sharing with us.
I can't get them to reply to my emails.
Thank you. Thank you, James. Now, Rick, do we have any questions from the audience? Any further questions? Maybe we can take about 2 of them and answer the others later on. Can you let me know? Or it's Rikia who will give that to me.
Rikia.
Rikia?
Hello, Jacklyn. We had 2 questions that I found in the chat. The first one was, is there a consolidated list of entry-level volunteers needed under each of the district roles that we would promote in our clubs?
And who is that directed to, the district director?
It wasn't directed to anyone specific.
Mr. District Director, would you like to?
But I like to pass that on to Rick. Absolutely. Rick, I know we talked about roles. Would you like to take that one?
Sure. Would you repeat the question, please?
Is there a consolidated list of entry-level volunteers needed under each of the district roles that we would promote in our clubs?
Not in exactly that way that it's phrased. The primary source of information or incoming, or the primary sources of information for any member, I don't care whether you're entry level or DTM 3 or 4. The primary source is when that area director does that visit, there's a question he always answered. Is anyone in this club interested in seeking leadership roles in the district? Once you answer that question, yes, I accumulate that and put you on a special distribution list. And believe me, you'll hear from me when I have places I want to fill, and toward the end of the year as we're trying to fill in future division director and area director. That's the number one source. The second source is when I or any district officer puts out on the website under opportunities for service a list of activities that we need help with. We're going to build teams. For example, spring conference. We'll have shortly a posting out there that probably lists 6 or 7 different leaders of components of the spring conference. Just respond, yes, I'm interested. We'll figure out where we can use you to the best of what your talents are. That's it.
Thank you, Rick. Rick here, you may post your next question.
Next question is for any of the district leaders. A few of the chat comments come from Toastmasters that may have only completed level 1 or have been a Toastmaster for a month, but still want to help per your request. What advice do you give to these aspiring volunteers?
Go right
Can I
ahead.
take that one, Jackie?
Go right ahead, Mark.
Get involved. Tell us that you're interested. Get involved. The mission of a Toastmasters Club, communication and leadership. And there is nothing better than signing up. The first thing I ever did when I joined this district years ago as a Toastmaster, somebody was talking about this area contest. I had no idea what an area contest was, but I said, hey, I'd love to get involved so I can find out more about it. And the lady was so nice, and she said, well, since you don't know anything about Toastmasters and these contests, why don't you sit at the table at the front and just check people in when they arrive? That was simple, and I got to watch an amazing area contest, which I then came back the next year and won. But that is how you get involved. You know, every journey starts with one step, and you can make a difference by taking that one step today. Thank you, Jackie.
Well said, Mark. Well said. Thank you so much. And as I mentioned before in my introduction, don't wait on anyone to ask you. You too can step up and ask how you can help. And I'm glad you made a point of that. Thank you so much. And that is the end of our Q&A segment. Rakia, that's it?
Yes, there was only one last question, but it was submitted to the finance manager. And the question was, are area directors automatically added to Concur? I do see that Lou answered that question.
I just submitted that form just now, like 30 minutes ago.
Okay, thank you so much. So I will move into the closing remarks. So fellow Toastmasters, based on what you heard this evening, if you think you can make a difference by bringing something positive to help your district grow, I encourage you to educate yourselves on the requirements needed to serve in the roles you want to undertake. I also encourage you to read the District Leadership Handbook, the District Administrative Bylaws, and find yourselves a mentor and start serving on committees. The district leadership committee will be looking for members like you to step into these roles shortly. If you qualify, don't just stay on the sidelines and watch. Put your name up for leadership, because your district is dependent on you to use your experience and talent to take your district to the next level and change the life of someone as you grow. I want to take this time to thank everyone for coming out this evening and participating. I hope you got lots of takeaways to help you make that decision. A big thank you to the executive committee panel for laying it all out to you tonight. And I am looking forward to hearing that many of you will step up for the 2023-2024 year and create your own experience. Back to you, Mr. Program Quality Director.
A lot of things getting displayed over here. For those of you that might be a little overwhelmed by the number of qualifications and things that you heard, I just want you to remember one number. Number 222. The number 222 is the item number for the District Leadership Handbook. That is Toastmasters' explanation of every component of every particular position we talked about today, including prerequisites, and goes into details of everything. Mark's trying to hold up a copy there. Higher, Mark. We can barely see the top of it. But just go to the toastmasters.org and search for products 222 and check it out. I want to very much thank our presenters for tonight, Mark Walton and Jacklyn Payne. Let's give a round of applause for all of them, for both of them. And of course, I want to thank all of you. We have more than 90 people here getting their qualifications or getting their club officer training. So I appreciate that and finding time to do it tonight. And that's all that I have. So you may all go, and we will make sure to mark credit for the time attended here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please do not forget to complete the survey, and everyone can unmute.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right, I forgot to tell you,
Thanks, everyone.
you'll be getting a survey after this. Respond to it, please.
Excellent job. I appreciate everyone's participation and sharing.
That's nice.
Very nice. Thank you.
For having us.
Guys, you all
everybody.
did a fantastic job. You guys did very well. I'm so proud of you.
Have a great night. I got to get up at 4, so I'm out of here.
Have a good